into Mars. That's in. Okay, we'll just look at the one when I was going through all the pain. When I'm sitting in the room and I'm getting all the poisons and all the pain and the sores in my arms, in my hands, in my arms, my legs, my face, all over the place. At one point I had these big boils, and I mean, they would boil up, the boils, oh, at least the size of a grape, a big grape or bigger. So I had one would come on the side of the face, one by my eye, then one came on my lip, on the front of my lip. I saw a little white spot there, but my lip was big swollen ball of this white pus was moving up, and the pus was moving up into my head towards my brain. Okay, so like, okay. These are gross things to that, but it was really extreme. I can't see myself. I don't have a mirror. I'm sitting alone in a room. I've got the pain. I know the swelling's there. What am I doing? I'm trying to bite it, break it, get rid of it, squeeze this stuff out, like with all the other ones. But I went from my face, that went down. My face, that was worrisome enough. Then I went down to below, and then I had to get. Eventually, they all went away. As I got more peaceful. So. This whole point, well, look and see just what happens. I haven't, I'm not sure which ones I did. You can't just contrive, oh, I'm going to look at this. But we had the hexagram, it's in the hexagram of standstill stagnation. I'm sitting in the room alone, it's stagnating, the blood's getting poisoned, it's getting white blood poison from not having sun or whatever, but it was there, okay? Then inside, return to the turning point, something's changing in this pain. When I'm going through the pain, I'm holding on to that, take care of this, and ping off the old karma, I guess, to get ready to come out to not bring that with me. Funny thought. Okay, you had return and turning point, line 4. We'll start from there. Look at that, line 4, return to turning point. Line 4, outside of your immediate circle, understanding will come. Be patient. The bird is on the wing. It should not fly too high. It should not reach beyond its limits. Assumptions should not be made. One listens and watches. No one will be confided in. No one will be disturbed. No blame. Boy, the number of times in that time period where all these poisons were going on that I wanted to call somebody, I wanted to say, let me out of the room. I want to come out. I better get some medicine. The amount of time my mind would think like that was numerous, and each time I wouldn't listen to it. So that's the theme. Now, if we want to get to the closer one, the one we down at the end, it's, oh, isn't that same one? It's at 60. We're over here, 62 line 1. Okay, look at the 62 line 1, which would be preponderance of the small. Yes, 62 line 1. Preponderance of the small. Okay, so the hexagram for this 2 months, when this was peaking, right in the middle of the room, okay, thunder above, the mountain below. Really, the rousing force without and stillness within. I'm sitting still, there's a force coming. The sudden change is threatening. I felt I can't stay in the room forever. Other people are paying for it. There was some darkness outside. One will wait until one is ready. To rush ahead would be folly. Get yourself together before you move. So I was waiting, hold on, get myself together. It really was that. Not now, not yet. I wasn't thinking of going out. I wasn't thinking ever coming out, really. Thunder on the mountain. Movement is demanded. One cannot see. There's no secure footing. Find a resting spot. Secure your safety. A bird on the wing flies through the air. Nothing above, nothing below. Still, it would be dangerous to fly higher. It is wiser to stay close to the nest. Well, I really was. Like, instead of flying out, getting help, getting something for the pain of the thing, I just said, no, I'll wait. I'll just trust. I'll stay within it. So this, but I mean, when you're in constant pain daily and the veins throbbing, there's nowhere you can go. Like, there's a certain point where the pain is consistent and it's just normal. It's only when it goes down and comes up that you feel there's any pain, you feel any sensation around it. It threw me up to into another level of consciousness, somewhat detached or oblivious to the pain, or through the pain. The judgment, outer stimulus, inner restraint. The mind is active while the body is still. Creative everywhere, but not well received. One draws attention to oneself before securing relationships. To speak will cause shock and disturb the peace. One must be cautious about expressing excitement. Well, my mind was active, my body still, but it's painful and nothing I could do. Like, yeah, so this is the judgment, the basic theme around body sits still, but the mind does not. One thinks of noble things to do, but one must be patient. If one feels supported, one will take the lead. If one becomes proud of what one knows, one will lose the foundation. It would be wise to encourage others to lead. So this is the main theme. What I want to get to is just the line here. When we get to the line, be line 1. Okay, this is the first line. So, okay, here we go. Somehow or other, this is going to have a theme. One sits erect and still, trying not to think. One breathes. One loses a sense of one's sense of time. Really, that says it. One sits erect and still. I really was alone. I'm trying not to think. I'm in pain. I'm trying not to think. I'm breathing to try and breathe past it to not think. I'm losing any sense of time. Even when I came out of the room, they didn't have 4 seasons there. There was just wet and dry season. I didn't know. I thought I'd been 6 months in. When I came out, it turns out I spent 13 months in there. If one tries to lead, one will be distracted. There are many inner teachings and established ways. If one can listen, one will benefit. Well, really, that was it. Reserved and withdrawn, one does not make a good first impression. One's timing is off, confidence is lacking. But at the same time, when you have the pain, do I stay, don't I stay? It's not like I was solidly confident. I'm struggling, I'm begging, I'm going up and down like a yo-yo with these pain. Oh my God, like it's hitting that nerve at anything beyond anything I could think. So even though this isn't defining what I went through, it certainly represents an inner pattern. I can see that current of those waves happening within the actual situation of what I was going through. And that's a very extreme situation I was going through that most people would never go through, but many people have pain. Many people have extremes they have to try and get beyond. Do you go within or don't you? Do you heal it from within or from without? It's easier to just go get the Tylenol now, but it's not. This is a different thing. But the point I'm trying to make is, but this is, you use it like your dear diary. You could go through these things and just watch on this inner level on the printing sheet. If you just went down on this level, third level on the right, and you just went through those hexagrams every 10 days, a line a day, every 10 days, and the hexagram for 2 months, you would get you could follow those 10 days and you'd be able to fill up your notes on this was the meaning, this event, this was going to that person. You would fill up all the things that it relates to. You go, oh wow, look at that. And as soon as you're doing this on this fine-tuned level, what are you doing to your relationship to astrology? You're increasing your depth awareness of astrology. You're increasing your sensitivity of how much can be done within astrology. You can't look at the natal chart the same way. You can't follow natal chart to such a degree. It takes knowing all the levels to get to some degree to be able to be aware or even open to this kind of sensitivity. But as you expand the depth through progressions, it spreads the depth and the deeper understanding into the natal chart, and the spiritual teachings go through the natal chart more. So the progressed sun, and where it's progressing, is the inner soul and spiritual ego, if you want. Is what you're pushing for inside. Is like my Libra me, my sweet Libra me was pushing Scorpio passions and desires for 30 years. Whoa. And inside of the pushing for the passions and desires, there was inner lessons being learned against the background of horrendous things in the world, dangerous things. Still, somehow it navigated me through that. This was my huge experience. It means nothing to anyone else. How can I explain it to anyone else? Nothing, but it was something hugely special for me. And after this pain and aloneness and not running away from the pain, I went out of the room. I was out for a month. I met Planetary Mother. I was in Tiruvannamalai. I met certain different saints, a Desert Swami, a Forest Swami. I met a few special people on alternate levels of consciousness. And then I didn't know, something wasn't working right. I had to go back in the room. I went back into the room again. And the minute I went back in the room, I lit up and I had visions for the next 50 days and I couldn't sleep. The visions put the astrology and the music, the I Ching, all these things together for me. I didn't even know it was doing that at the time, but it was there, and it was just there, and that gave me the confidence there was a meaning or purpose that let me come out of the room with something. I gained something, a vision. So once you have to sit all alone and get that vision, you don't sit there. You can't. You don't say, no, thanks God, I won't take the vision. You take the vision and you go with it. Try to make the most of it. Well, 2 years later, when someone did my chart, I realized the vision was astrological and a connection was made from my inside to the outside. I just lit up. I couldn't get enough astrology. I was just burning on it. I still am 50 years later. So, okay, this is how I use the I Ching. It's up to you. But you needed to know that it was there before go on. So this is as far as we're going to take the progressed sun for now. And next week, we're going to start with Mercury. So you want to study your progressed Mercury and look at the chart and see what information you can make sense of yourself from your progressions. And then we'll come into it for next week. Okay, thanks. Good night. Where are we? Here. Okay, good. Turn this off.